On This Week in Horror in 1973, one of the most iconic horror films of all time made its premiere. Right from the start, The Exorcist produced long lines at the theater, and after showings of the movie had begun, it resulted in the early departures of some squeamish viewers. They were unable to stomach the demonic possession of a young, innocent girl, Reagan McNeil, living with her mother in Washington, D.C. While Linda Blair is the headliner of the film, two other actors deserve far more credit for what they have done. Let's talk about Jason Miller, who delivered arguably the finest performance of the film as the tormented but driven Father Karras. This occurred in spite of some of the treatment he received from the rather difficult director, William Friedkin, especially when Friedkin fired a gun near Miller's ear to elicit a more believable reaction. And then there's Max von Sydow. He excels in playing the other key priest involved in the exorcism, Father Merrin. Von Sydow was only 44 when he filmed The Exorcist, but the terrific makeup and his adjusted mannerisms made him seem much older. Very believable that he was in his 70s and not in his early 40s. The Exorcist is a mostly faithful adaptation of William Peter Blatty's best-selling book, which came out 3 years earlier. Blatty wrote the adapted screenplay for the film and later directed the underrated sequel, Exorcist III. More than 50 years after the fact, The Exorcist has mostly held up, despite some criticism that it's lost some of its fright factor due to changing standards of horror filmmaking. It might not be as terrifying as it was for audiences in the early 1970s, but it's still pretty darn good. 4 stars for this classic, The Exorcist, from the Ghostly Gallery.